I'm Stuart McIntosh with the BBC News. Hello. With most ballots counted in Turkey's crucial general election, there doesn't appear to be a clear winner. Official figures indicate that President Recep Tayyip Erdogan has achieved just under 50% of the vote. His secular opposition rival, Kemal Kılıçdaroğlu, is on around 45%. Here's Anna Foster.
If neither of those two main challengers can get over 50% of the vote, there will be no presidential resolution in the next few hours. This will go to a runoff in 2 weeks' time. But in the meantime, there are complaints about recounts in certain areas. Kemal Kılıçdaroğlu made a statement a short time ago. He said that in some areas, ballot boxes had been recounted 11 times already. This will not be a peaceful and simple ending to this process. Both sides are desperate for victory, and both sides at the moment are very suspicious of the tactics that the other side are using.
Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky has been welcomed to the Élysée Palace by his French counterpart Emmanuel Macron. It's Mr. Zelensky's third visit to a major European power this weekend. The two leaders are expected to discuss French military and humanitarian support for Ukraine. A progressive opposition party appears to have won the most votes in Thailand's parliamentary election. With most ballots counted, Move Forward is just ahead of its nearest rival, Pheu Thai, which also opposes the country's military rule. Jonathan Head has more details.
The unofficial count is showing a remarkable performance by the new progressive party Move Forward, which is doing far better than expected. Move Forward's agenda is particularly progressive. It also wants a complete wholesale reform of the bureaucracy. It even wants the monarchy discussed. This incredible wave of support it's gotten, it's clearly gone well beyond younger Thais, suggests that it has struck a chord with Thai voters, that they really want change. And if you put these two parties together, the projections we're seeing suggest they will have a substantial majority in the lower house of Parliament.
Hundreds of thousands of people have spent a further night in temporary accommodation as a powerful storm moved across the Bay of Bengal. At least 5 people are reported to have died in Myanmar as Cyclone Mocha caused widespread flooding. Rajini Vaidyanathan is in Cox's Bazar.
Cyclone Mocha arrived with great force, winds gusting at high speeds. It hit the Bangladesh-Myanmar coastline. Here in southeast Bangladesh, hundreds of thousands left their homes in coastal areas for shelter. Nature was also punishing the poor in the world's largest refugee camp nearby. Rohingya refugees who'd fled persecution in Myanmar more than 5 years ago already live in miserable conditions. This cyclone just made things worse.
You're listening to the World News from the BBC. Ecuador's National Assembly has announced that impeachment proceedings against President Guillermo Lasso will begin on Tuesday. He's been accused by opposition legislators of embezzling funds from public companies. Mr. Lasso says the allegations are politically motivated. He'll appear at the National Assembly on Tuesday morning to present his defence. The process could take weeks. Argentina's central bank is to raise its benchmark interest rate to 97% to try to control soaring inflation. It's part of a package of measures aimed at restoring confidence in the local currency ahead of general elections later this year. Our Americas editor, Leonardo Rocha, reports.
Inflation in Argentina has risen to more than 100%, one of the highest annual rates in the world. Its currency, the peso, has lost 1/3 of its value against the dollar so far this year. At least 3 times in the past 3 decades, the country has experienced hyperinflation and the prospect of economic collapse. The current crisis is partially a result of COVID, the war in Ukraine, and a serious drought. But many say Argentina needs to address the underlying causes of its instability, which include corruption, deep-rooted political divisions, and the mismanagement of public finances.
The Palestinian Authority has called on the International Criminal Court to issue an arrest warrant for Israel's far-right National Security Minister Itamar Ben-Gvir. It accused him of incitement, saying he supported what it called bloody aggression against Palestinians in the Gaza Strip. The Palestinian Authority made the call after Mr. Ben-Gvir praised Israel's military operation against Islamic Jihad militants in Gaza. Barcelona have won their first Spanish league title for 4 years after beating Espanyol. Their Polish striker, Robert Lewandowski, scored his 20th league goal of the season in the 4-2 win. BBC News.